Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that great subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So in a moment, we're going to be discussing a question that I got asked by a viewer, which is, can you have multiple attractions at once? Well, multiple asexual attractions, because this person is asexual. So thank you so much to Doc, who's a watcher, a viewer, I should say, of this channel, and asked me the question on Twitter. So if you didn't catch my reply on Twitter, I'm going to answer that question in a moment. But first of all, if you didn't know who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy. I'm author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book. So if you haven't already got a copy of this, go and grab a copy now, because it's real life asexual stories. I'm also the author of Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, which is how to manage fibromyalgia to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier like a superhero rock star. So both books are available from Amazon and Barnes & Noble, plus Asexual Perspectives also at Waterstones. So today's video, yes, can you experience multiple asexual attractions at once? Right, so these attractions don't have to be limited to just asexuals. I'm saying asexual attraction because asexuals watch this channel, and all these attractions don't have to have sexual attraction as part of it at all, right? So someone who is heterosexual, for example, can experience all these attractions as well, but they probably would not be aware of them, but all of them, because, you know, they don't break the attraction down. If you've watched my 8 types of asexual attraction video, you will know that yeah, I experience 8 different types of attractions. Now, you can experience attraction like as in synchronicity, as in you go from one attraction, so you just feel a certain attraction for a person, then you get another attraction for a person, then you get another one for that person. So you could have multiple attractions for one person, but it might not all come at once. Similarly, though, you could have multiple attractions going on at once for different people, right? And you could end up having traction to someone that you weren't attracted to in the first place, right? So if we just like take, for example, romantic attraction and aesthetic attraction. Romantic attraction is the desire to be romantic with a person. This means stuff like kissing, cuddling, holding hands, going out on dates, maybe having romantic meals, snuggling, all this type of thing, right? So yeah, so that's a desire to be romantic towards someone, with someone, right? If we take aesthetic attraction, aesthetic is basically looks. It could be like you're attracted to a certain type of color of hair or eyes or face. It could be just like the whole person, you like the whole kind of like look. And so it's very much aesthetic attraction is very much all about, you know, the visual, the face of the person, the body of the person, you know. So for me personally, I usually experience romantic and aesthetic attraction together. Usually it's aesthetic attraction that happens first for me with most people, and then it turns into romantic attraction. It's not always the case though. I have had a few instances, well, particularly one instance I know of, that I felt romantically attracted to a guy. So was guys with me, but not actually that aesthetically, only a little bit aesthetically. Now with that person, I probably find them a bit more aesthetically attractive, but less romantically attractive, because I know that me and them are not suitable to be together in a relationship. We're really good friends, but we're not suitable. But what was really weird is last year, towards the end of the year, I did actually start in sensual attraction for this person. And because they're a really good friend of mine, they have some in the past romantic attraction for me as well, like I've had for them, but we know we can't be together in a relationship, and so it's just like we just don't feel as strongly romantically towards each other anymore, because our friendship just takes takes first place basically. we're much more strong in friendship, and we're not suitable together in a relationship, romantic relationship. So, but we are still aware there is some romantic attraction there. So that, we sometimes talk about it if we need to. But yeah, it was really weird because before the end of last year I got sensual attraction with this person, which I've never had before. Kind of a desire to massage, I'm not really into massage, but a desire to like massage them or something, like their back, not their bit down below, like touch their chest and their back. So that was really, really, really weird for me. Because I hadn't usually got it with this person, because they're a really good friend of mine. Is kind of like, oh yeah, that's a bit weird thinking that way about a friend. But my friends all know that I'm a hyper romantic and I don't experience any platonic attraction. So for me, I end up having some type of attraction pretty much to all my friends, whether it's aesthetic or romantic attraction or intelligence attraction. So yeah, so it isn't particularly I wouldn't say it's normal for someone to have attraction to all their friends, but I mean, I don't have attraction to female friends, but for me, any younger foreign guys particularly, I get attracted to who are friends. But also, even British people, guys, if I'm really close friends with them, I can get some attraction for them as well. So yeah, for me, I can experience multiple attractions for different friends, but I don't actually want to be attracted to all my friends, which is something that happens with me. So yeah, but I don't think that's the case for most asexuals. I think with most asexuals, some get crushes, so they might have some attraction for different people at once. But I don't think they have it as much as I do. Like, I don't think they've got all this attractions going on for all these different friends. It just gets a bit annoying sometimes, but it's something I learned to manage well. But yeah, so you can experience multiple attractions. So the attractions I mentioned in the 8 asexual attractions video. I'm not sure if I can remember all of them off the top of my head, but I will try. So there's asexual attraction and romantic attraction. And like I said, for me personally, these usually go hand in hand. Aesthetic first and then romantic second. But usually most of the time I can't have aesthetic attraction and I can't have romantic attraction without aesthetic attraction most of the time. But like I said, that has been different for me. Upon occasion. And so asexual and romantic attraction, they're like my two I experience most with people. And then another one is clothes attraction. I get really attracted to certain types of clothes. So street clothes, like street dance movies. God, I love the guys in street dance movies. They're so like asexually hot. And I'm like, yum yum. Because like a lot of the time they don't have any chest hair either, because I really can't stand chest hair. And so I love it with the guys from like street dance movies, because they have like no chest hair. Like my, if they're in their 20s, it's like my age group, and it's really cool. I love the dance music as well. So yeah, I love the street look. And then the other look I like is kind of the really opposite look, like the formal look, where a guy's dressed in black and white suit. I really, really love that look. It's so amazing. So it's kind of like in my personality, like I'm a quirky girl, like a kid on purpose, and then I'm like a business guy. So I guess the kind of like the suit that a guy would wear would go with my business part of me. And then when I want to go out with him to like business conferences or seminars, and then the street look would be when I want to go dancing with him. I'm saying him because I haven't got a him, I'm single, but I'm just like mentioning it. In theory, how I like, ideally a guy to have like those two types of looks are great. I also sometimes like I do like the like black jeans and white t-shirt, leather jacket look sometimes as well. But I don't like a full biker look. So yeah, so that's really interesting. So that's like my clothes attractions, but mostly street clothes and then the suit. So that's really cool. And so yeah, and then what else? Creative attraction. So hello Doc, because you were the one that asked me this question. You found out that you you have a creative attraction for people like artists and things like that. So yeah, so Doc, who asked me this question, like, can you experience multiple attractions at once? They asked me on Twitter. Certainly you can, and they didn't realize they've experienced creative attraction pretty much throughout their life. And so yeah, so creative attraction for me is all about when it's really weird. Oh, hi Doc, you came on. Lots of love to you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, you've made my evening now. Yeah, because you asked this question, didn't you? So it's really cool you're here. I did this video especially for you, but I thought it'd help others as well. Yeah, so creative attraction for me. Like I get attracted to people who, in general, who are doing creative pursuits, So if they've got projects they're working on, like for example, like I get attracted to autistic guys because they're usually working on some sort of project. And so I find that very, very attractive. I did. I'm glad I'm here. Oh, it's really cool. And so yeah, it's lovely to see you. So yeah, so with creative attraction for me, anyone sort of working on projects like which means they're creating something. I find that attractive. I even find that attractive in friends, even if I don't want a relationship with them, as in a romantic relationship. I feel like it's a very attractive quality about them. So if I'm thinking of a guy in a romantic way and he's being creative, it probably make me want to kiss him more, like because I find it really asexually stimulating, right? But if it was a friend, I would like to share like projects and stuff. Like I find it attractive quality in them rather than me being attracted to them, as in if I was romantic towards them. It's more of a case of I find it attractive about them because obviously they're my friends, not someone I want to kiss. So I love it but even in a relationship, I love it if we're sharing projects. So for example, if I'm working on a book and they're working on something, say they're creating some photography collage or something, or they're filming something, they're creating a short movie or a short YouTube video or a blog post, or they're doing something like that. I would find that, when they're saying how they got on with their project, say they were filming a video and it was taking a while, and they were telling me how it's going, I would find that really, really attractive. And I love it if I've got a partner in the future that actually has some creative pursuits, because I like them to talk about them. So I don't need to be directly involved with them. They can have their own creative pursuits. I think it's healthy, unless we do end up teaming up together on some stuff, which is fine also. But I like separate things, and I like to be able to talk about them and like, oh, how far have you got with this project? I've got here, how much have you done? And so it's a bit like an accountability buddy or partner, but you're not actually saying that you're accountability. So you're not actually putting any pressure on the other person. You're just kind of like chilling and saying to them, oh, how's your day been? Like, what have you got up to today? And then the person is literally saying, like how far they've got with what they needed to do. And I love that when I can do that as well, because I find it very motivating. It's kind of an energy. It's kind of like pushing each other to be our best and to do what we love and enjoy. And so I think that's a really healthy thing in a relationship, to be able to have both your own projects and things you work on, but you actually chat a lot about them and you encourage each other and you praise each other. I think that's very, very positive reinforcement. I think that's essential for a healthy relationship. And so very similar to that, but not exactly the same, is intelligence attraction. This is something I get a lot with Indian guys when they can code websites. So for me, I get very asexually turned on by a guy who can code a website, because I can build websites, but I can't code. And so I love Indian guys, as you know. And if I've got an Indian guy, I just always imagine myself with an Indian guy who can code. So I honestly. And so if the Indian guy's like, for example, I always picture me sat on a bed chatting to him about coding. Not that I can code, and he's talking to me about Python. Not in it. Python, it can be like sexuals would term the word Python as something sexual, right? But Python is a way of coding websites, right? And so if a guy talked to me about Python and code a website, I wouldn't really totally know what he's talking about, but I'd be so excited to just for him to talk about, and it would make me want to snog his face off, to be quite frank, if he was Indian, because I'm really attracted to Indian guys. So it'd make me really, really want to kiss him, because I'd be so excited. I'd be like, oh God, I want to kiss you now, kiss me. So I always make a joke that there's a song called Talk Dirty to Me, which is what a lot of sexuals would like. Whereas with me, I don't want someone to talk dirty to me. I want someone to talk code with me. So I'm like, talk code to me, baby, talk code. And so yeah, I just find coding so intelligent. So intelligence attraction, it depends how you define intelligence and what you find intelligent in a person, right? Every person's different, And so for me, particularly coding websites is what I call intelligence. And also intelligent conversation, stimulating conversation about the world, planet, universe, like nothing's off limits. Someone who's got quite a good lot of kind of experience in certain things they like doing. And because I'm into marketing, social media, business, so I like a guy to talk business to me. I find that very intellectually attractive. So traditionally, a lot of women, particularly heterosexual women, unless they're a businesswoman themselves, they tend to usually get quite fed up in general, stereotypically, of a guy talking, or whatever gender, but obviously we're talking hetero to hetero. They kind of get fed up with a guy talking about his work because they're female. It's kind of stereotypically a male thing a lot of the time to talk about your work more, right? But for me, this is like traditionally stereotypical because obviously women used to be in the house, but things have changed a lot since then. But for me personally, I love it if a guy talks about his work, and some guys find that very attractive about me because they are not used to a woman who wants to listen to them talk about their work. Oh, hi, Sparky. Lots of love to you. Nice to see you. Always lovely to see you. Thanks for the thumbs up straight away. Appreciate it. So for me, like I do get very stimulated by a guy who can talk about business. And so that for me is part of intelligence attraction. And so, you've just got to define intelligence attraction, what that means to you, because it can mean different things to different people. But yeah, I love a guy who talks about his work. If he's doing entrepreneurship, marketing, social media, I find that very intellectually stimulating. And to be quite frank with you, I couldn't be in a relationship with a guy who wasn't mentally stimulating me. Um, if you have, if you particularly need intellectual stimulation in a relationship, and you particularly, like experience intelligence attraction or asexual, you're basically, like sapio asexual. So sapiosexual, in case you didn't know, is someone who's sexually attracted to someone because of their intelligence. Now, sapiosexual is sometimes referred to on the asexual grey end of the asexual spectrum. Now, I've never particularly classed sapiosexual as asexuality, but more recently, in recent months, I've been noticing that sapiosexual's been coming into the asexual community. But it does mean that that someone is attracted to someone sexually because of their intelligence. Now, I didn't see this as an actual asexual attraction because it's these people can be very highly sexually attractive to someone. But I think how it might have come into the asexual community is it's not the norm. And maybe they think in the asexual community that it's literally this person can only experience sexual attraction if they have intelligent stimulation. Now, I didn't actually think that was the case. I thought they could still get sexually attracted, but just they experience more sexual attraction and they need it to kind of for long lasting like stability in the relationship, that intelligence to be there. Oh, excuse me. So so I'm not kind of sure exactly why they're saying it's in the asexual community, other than the fact it's a different type of usual sexual attraction, but it's still based on sexual attraction, whereas asexuality is based on a lack of sexual attraction. So I find that quite difficult to understand why it's in the asexual community at the moment. But it's something that I've seen creep in over recent months. And sapio romantic as well. I think it's been in there. Has it? Sapio romantic, I think it's possibly been in there. But yeah, so but anyway, if you do experience particularly like need intelligence in the relationship, like it's a must do really, and you get intelligence attraction really, like sapio asexual. But if it's just some attraction, intelligence attraction, you can experience it sometimes, that's different. But if you kind of need it as a necessity as part of a relationship, it would be sapio asexual if you don't experience sexual attraction with it. But I really do need that. I mean, I cannot see me being in a fulfilling relationship with the guy who doesn't talk intelligently to me. He would have to kind of like be know something about some business stuff, some website design or something we could talk about like that. Like if a guy was just playing video games all day. I know there's a lot of asexuals in the community that love playing video games. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. Some people love gaming, that's their life, and they want a partner who equally does gaming and they love playing games every single day and it makes them happy, and that's great. But for me personally, I don't play video games, and even if I ever did, it would be like very rarely or infrequently because another person wanted to do it pretty much. You know, but if someone was just sat watching TV and playing video games, that wouldn't be mental stimulation enough for me. I need someone who'll chat and have proper conversations about anything and everything. And, you know, like that's part of how I really connect with a guy and how I really love is when they talk a lot to me and they share their day with me and share photographs and videos if they're not with me in person, and they talk about their life and they talk about how everything is. So I feel included in their life and I feel part of it and special, even if I'm not actually with them in person. So that's kind of how I like it. You know, like I want a guy in the future where I can be like a comfy armchair with them, but not actually be a comfy armchair in the sense that, oh, we're sat watching TV and playing video games together, but a comfy armchair as in the sense that you can share anything with them and they want to share their life and world with you. So it's kind of like that's the only way I can describe it. It's kind of like you come home in the sense your heart's with them and you can just talk about anything and everything and there's nothing off limits and you feel very secure and happy about talking about anything and everything, and you're kind of both looking for the same sort of thing in a relationship and you just feel really comfortable with the other person. So like when I say like a comfy armchair, it's more like you're comfortable, you know, it's like your snuggly armchair that you've had for years and that you don't want to be without and you're so used to it and you just squidge yourself into it and you just feel so good and right, you know, and in a positive way. So that's what I hope to get in the future. A healthy, you know, relationship in the future. So, you know, that's kind of like I usually feel that even around Indian guys, for example. I'm in Indian groups in the UK and I always feel like they're part of my family in there, like my soul's always going to be Indian, you know, or always will be. And so I feel like, you know, like I always feel like at home there. And I was watching it, I'm going off on a tangent a bit here, but I was watching a spirituality video the other day and they were saying, you know, like it's a person you're seeing your soulmate or not. And they were talking about you know, it feels like you're coming home, like you've not been with them for your life and you're coming home. And that's how I actually feel about Indian guys and being in Indian groups. So I still believe I have an Indian asexual soulmate and I will find him one day. But yeah, I've got to focus on my career for now and other stuff, you know. But yeah, so that's intelligence attraction. And I've mentioned close attraction and creative attraction. Oh yes, sensual attraction. I did say that I had some sensual attraction for one of my friends happen at the end of last year, which was very, very unexpected. Because this person is my friend, but me and them have had or me and him I should say have had feeling romantic attraction for each other in the past, and so I did get this sensual attraction for them. It was very, very weird because I wanted to like touch their chest and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, this is my friend. So that was quite bizarre. But yeah, sensual attraction is when you kind of want to touch their body, but not for sexual pleasure, for the feeling of kind of like comfort and because you like touching the skin as an actual thing to touch that feels good to you. So this would be like something like you want to massage the person, stroke their chest. You might want to give them a back rub or a neck massage even, or, you know, like, you know, stroke down their arms. You know, like facial, you know, you might want to stroke their cheeks like this and you might be like, oh, that's nice, you know. I want to stroke their hair. I get sensual attraction from the guy's upper body, so from the waist up. So for me, for example, if I was with an Indian guy, I say Indian because that's my favorite type of guy. I would like personally to like put my hands through their hair. I love the fact they've got like dark hair usually, so put my hands through their hair, and you know, like I prefer clean shaven guys, so like I would like to like kiss down here, kiss their little nose, kiss their lips, kiss their cheeks. I always love tongue kissing, obviously. And then I like stroking their arms because I get attracted to the guy's face predominantly. And then this frame, like the shoulders and the arms. That's what I mostly get attracted to on a guy. So like, you know, like stroke his shoulders. And I like kissing down a guy's chest as well. So especially if you've got no chest hair, because I really don't like chest hair. So yeah, so that is sensual attraction. So I kind of want to kiss the guy's upper body. I want to touch, feel it, you know, but below, from the waist down. Doc, I'm not going to lie, whenever I am sensually attracted to someone, I think about listening to her heartbeat. Oh, that's so romantic, Doc. That is really romantic. I think that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's really nice. It reminds me of a dance movie I've got. What dance movie is it? Save the Last Dance, the number 2. Save the Last Dance 2. I've got 1 and 2, but it's a dance movie. And in the second one, he compiles audio tapes. So, you know, you can tell it's kind of like based on a kind of old style of music. Well, it's young music, but it's kind of like an older film with the cassette tapes, if you know what I mean. But I know some traditional sound mixers still probably use that type of thing anyway. But anyway, this guy's supposed to be like a sound mixer. And this girlfriend in the movie, he puts the microphone next to her heart and he records her heartbeat, and then he plays it back later, and it's so romantic. So you just reminded me of that movie, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's a very romantic, nice movie. I haven't watched it for a while. I like really want to watch it now. But I'm kind of like, yeah, I watched an action movie earlier tonight, but yeah. So that's sensual attraction. And then we have we also have spiritual attraction. So spiritual attraction is when you feel like you're connected in the soul with them. You know, you feel that your soulmate, that like, you know, like you've known them in a previous life, maybe. And you know, you feel like you've known them for a long time, even though you've kind of only just met or not known each other long. And everything feels very natural. It's all very flowing. And you know, when you're apart, you're kind of connected in the mind to them, and emotionally as well. And so it's kind of like your spirits as one, even when you're apart. That's kind of the only way I can really describe that. Also, there is actually emotional attraction, where you can be attracted to someone because you've met, you know, because you've made an emotional connection with them. But emotional connection, emotional attraction are very similar. You know, it's like you emotionally connect with the person and then you get more attracted to them because you have connected to them emotionally and you become emotionally attracted to them. Like you really kind of feel the emotions that they feel. You know, they're very similar, but it's kind of like the emotional connection makes you more attracted to the person, basically. Whereas, you know, you can emotionally connect with lots of people, but you might not actually be that attracted to them. You might feel a kind of warmth from them and a kind of understanding. But when you have emotional attraction, it's kind of like you want to be with that person more. And it's usually coupled with something like romantic attraction as well, maybe aesthetic as well. So yeah, so you can have multiple attractions at once for one person, or you can have multiple attractions for different people going on at the same time. And for me, like I said, personally, for me, it's very difficult because I used to have multiple attractions for my friends. And it's like, I don't want to be thinking of my friends in that way. I just eventually want to be in a relationship with one guy where I have the attractions for him and not really for other people. Apart from, you know, like I want to be people, you know, I still want to have my best friends and everything. But, you know, I'm talking about attraction in romantic, like, relationship terms. So yeah, so you can definitely have multiple attractions. And also, you mentioned earlier, Doc, about could you have something like platonic attraction, then like romantic, and was it aesthetic as well, or romantic and something else? You could start off as well, you could start off as friends, and then you could get platonically attracted to them, as in maybe you want to spend more time with them. You know, you want to be more physically close to them, and then you could start feeling romantic, like you want to kiss and cuddle and hold their hand. And then you know, you might, well, for me personally, asexual attraction is usually always before romantic attraction, but it depends. Some people who are asexual, they go for personality more than looks, so you might find that you're more attracted to their personality first than what they look like. So you might find that you're more romantically attracted and then you get the look thing first, you know. I mean, look thing second, you know, you get romance first and then the aesthetics. So it depends on you personally, like how you experience attraction and how it evolves for you. But it might be for different people, you know. Like I have experienced aesthetic attraction in the past for guys that I was not aesthetically attracted to in the beginning. And the reason of this is because I become emotionally connected to them and emotionally attracted to them. The more time I spend with them, the more time I talk to them. And so for me, it, like my ex, for example, of 8.5 years ago, wasn't that aesthetically attracted to him. We were friends first before we started in a relationship. I wasn't that aesthetically attracted to him. He wasn't the look I would usually go for. And I remember, like, it wasn't until I started being, more and more getting more and more closer to him, because we used to spend a lot more time together. We used to go to the gym together back then and stuff like that. Then, that I started having this much more aesthetic attraction, because I spent more time with the person, because I was more emotionally connected to them. So for me personally, if it's, for example, a British guy, I'm not usually attracted to British guys. I can be attracted to a few British guys, but not very many. But I can become more attracted to British guys after I spent time with them and have built emotional connection. So for me personally, with British guys, a lot of the time I'm like a demi-romantic person would be. So a demi-romantic person is someone who only experiences romantic attraction once they've got a deep emotional bond. And that's how I kind of am just the majority of time with British guys. Like, I'm not that aesthetically attracted to them. I'm not really romantic attracted to them. But if I develop an emotional bond with them, then I can become much more aesthetically attracted to them, much more romantically attracted to them. So it's not like it's completely impossible. Thanks for the thumbs up. Lots of love to you. So it's not like it's completely impossible for me to ever be attracted to a British guy again. I could be, like there was one a couple of years ago, right, who I was in a relationship with very briefly, because he wasn't the right guy for me, and he was sexual as well. But I was attracted to him quite quickly. I did feel romantic and aesthetic attraction to him quite quickly, which is not normal for me. He's 23, so he's my age group, so I really like that about him. Short hair, clean shaven, about the same height as me actually. So, there's something about British accents I find attractive, and I don't know why. Oh, you like my accent then, do you? Yes, I find foreign accents really, really lovely. Really lovely. And yeah, there was the person who, like, he's out of my life now. They wanted to have a British accent, and they're foreign. And I was thinking, personally, that was really unattractive to me, because it's like, if I wanted a British guy, I would be with a British guy. I particularly like foreign guys, and one of the things I love about foreign guys is their accent. The fact that they don't have a British accent. I find it very, very asexually stimulating. So for me, someone who's foreign who wants a British accent, to me, is a bit of a turn off, to say the least, because it's like, I don't, like, I want to be with a foreign guy because I like a foreign guy, because I like his accent, and him, wanting to have a British accent, like, it's like, oh God, I didn't like that personally. For me, it's like really turns me off, that does. Because like I said, I want a foreign guy, but I love Indian guys, and their accent, when they say Sandra, they go Sandra. But obviously Italian guys can do that and stuff as well. It's not just Indian guys, but I love a foreign accent, the way they say my name, Sandra, Sandra, hello Sandra, and I'm like, oh, it just makes me feel so like excitable. And I love it. And like, if you're in a romantic situation, if you experience romantic attraction like I do, an aesthetic attraction, and then a guy who uses his accent to say your name, oh my God, it's very, very asexually stimulating. It makes, like, if you're kissing, it makes you more excitable. Me personally, anyway. So for me, I absolutely adore accents. I'm glad you said that. And like, I really would, I really prefer to be with a foreign guy. And one of the major things that's an asexual turn on for me is the accent, So when the person's like, oh, I want to get British accent, I was just like, oh God, it's not really the type of guy I want, I don't like that. I really want, a guy who's gonna talk his own accent to me. And I love, for example, with Indian guys, I love their name as well. Their names usually are so beautiful. When you say their name, it kind of rolls off your tongue like a symphony or a paradise, and so, but like, I'm lucky I've got, Indian online friends anyway. So, and I had, well, I've got a friend in Exeter now who's Indian, but he's really busy with his studies, got a girlfriend. So, But yeah, I really love it. So yeah, accents are really, really something important to me. I don't know if that could come under kind of sensual, because it could be like sounds, you know. Like I used to do voluntary radio presenting for years. I don't know if you knew that about me. So I did hospital radio presenting. So for me, I learned to project my voice. You know, like when you do radio presenting, you're supposed to talk a bit louder, like you're supposed to project your voice a bit louder when you're doing radio presenting, because it's to do with radio waves. So like when you're talking on the phone, like mobile or landline phone, you're supposed to raise your voice a little bit because it's to do with radio waves. So when you're doing radio, you have to, you have to literally move your voice up. And so that's how I project, come I project my voice quite a lot, because I'm used to talking a radio voice. When I've had asexuality interviews with the BBC before on radio, they're like, your voice is so good for radio. And I do have a really good radio voice. So so I'm used to like that type of thing. So if a guy is just talking to me on the phone and he has a beautiful voice, that does really asexually turn me on, to be quite honest. In other words, I'm more attracted to him. I want to kiss him more. I want to spend more time with him because his voice is so gorgeous. It's like velvety, It's like you could listen to it. You could go to sleep with it. You can feel peaceful with it. And you could also feel energized by it. Depends what type of voice it is, or excited. I find it quite. I guess it depends on what attraction you feel with it. Like if I'm kissing the guy and he's saying my name in an accent, I'm finding that will really asexually stimulate. Probably a bit arousing with kissing as well, if I'm honest. Because I get aroused through kissing, but I don't want sex. I'm not sexually attracted to anyone. I'm only attracted to guys, not women. So yeah, the accent's really nice. But if I've got a guy, say I was talking to him on the phone and I was in a relationship and he was on the phone and he had a really, like nice tone to his voice, he spoke really well, then that would really be really nice as well. But like I said, I do love Indian and foreign accents particularly. With them talking, in their accents, even though they talk British, they talk in their accent. Like talk English, I mean, they talk in their accent. So yeah. So I find this very good topic to talk about, actually, because like so many people who are, for example, heterosexual, all they think about really is that they're sexually attracted to someone, and kind of romance comes into it, and aesthetics usually comes into it. So when someone experiences sexual attraction, they usually love the look of the person, and they usually feel romance with them as well. This is kind of traditional heterosexuals. The majority of them would feel sexual attraction, romance, and aesthetics all together, and they would pass it all as sexual attraction. Basically, they don't separate things, going, oh, I'm aesthetically attracted to this person. Oh, I'm, like sensually attracted to this person. Oh, I'm romantically attracted to this person. Oh, I'm intelligently attracted to this person. Usually they don't think like that, right? They don't separate their attractions. They just be like, usually I'm attracted to that person, and it would usually be their looks, and they'd feel some romantic attraction to them, and they'd want to have sex with them. Basically, those are the three main things that most heterosexuals think and feel. In general, that's a very big generalization, And so, I think it's very important as asexuals that, well, particularly if you watch my asexual 8 attractions video, you'll know I can separate. I don't know if it's just me who can separate all these attractions, but I think I'm one of the very few on the internet that's actually been able to separate all these different 8 types of attractions out, which not a lot of people can do. So I don't know if it's kind of me who started that or if it's been done before, but I don't think you'll see it in much places. You'll see them talk about some types, like aesthetic is very common, romantic attraction is very common, but talking about close attraction is not something really many channels or people talk about, And some people put clothes under aesthetics, but they're actually different, because aesthetic is usually the skin and the facial appearance. The things are actually not to do with the clothes, to do with their actual, that's on them, that's part of them, So a lot of asexuals, like for example, who have fetishes, they have fetishes over the feet. I haven't really talked about fetishes because I'm not into BDSM stuff at all, but there are quite a lot of asexuals in the community that like BDSM stuff without the actual sex. And one of the things that a lot of asexuals like, if they've got a fetish, a lot of it, well, particularly Indian guys, because that's who I've talked to the most, to be honest, is the feet. They have foot fetishes. So what this means is they usually want to touch the foot, massage the foot, They may want to kiss it, play with it, you know. They love playing with feet, basically, touching them, feeling them, looking at them, and all that type of thing. Now, sexuals can have foot fetishes, which take it much more extreme when they expect you to put your foot in their privates, basically, which is a very gross thing to think about if you're sex repulsed. But you know, because I was looking that up because I've had some guys who are asexual and they're like, oh, I've got foot fetish, and I'm like thinking, what the hell does that mean? So I googled it on the internet, and then I found out what it means sexually and basically asexually, and I'm like, oh my god, you know. But I always tend to steer clear of BDSM stuff because really I'm not into that type of thing. But I do come across some guys in the asexual community who do want to be dominated by a woman, but it's like kind of like, I don't want to control a guy, you know, because I just don't think that I don't think that's good, and I particularly don't want to hurt someone, you know. Some people, they like spanking and stuff like that. I just don't like that type of stuff, you know. I don't want to hurt someone. I would feel guilty and bad, and I wouldn't never want to do it, even if it's consensual, because that's the way I personally feel, you know. But you know, like a foot fetish, I guess some people might find that quite sensual, but you can have sensual attraction where you want to massage the feet, massage the body and stuff. But a fetish is like when you particularly get obsessed with a type of body part of someone, really. That's one type of fetish, you know, where, you know, like someone's got a foot fetish. It's like they like to see a woman in heels, for example. And I mean, I never wear heels. I wear really flat stuff, you know. And that's the thing. I personally, for me, I don't like to be something I'm not. I don't like to dress a certain way or look a certain way because the guy wants that for his stimulation in some way. I don't like that. I feel like I'm a sexual object or target. And I'm being forced to be something I'm not, and I'm not being my authentic self, you know. It's like, I think I told you on this channel a very long time ago, my ex of 8.5 years, he used to like, he bought me the Santa outfit one time for us to have sex in. It's like, I just want to wear the Santa outfit because I actually look good in it. I don't want it to be for sex, you know. But that's basically what he bought it me for, so I can look really sexy for him and then have sex with him in it because it really turns him on, which I did actually do at the time. But it's just like I felt kind of gross because I'm like, I'm just like dressing up. I don't, you know, like there's loads of heterosexuals in the world that you know, like dressing up in nurses and doctors' outfits. They love all that type of thing, you know. And for me, I find that personally really gross, which I presume is to do with my asexuality. But I do know some asexuals like role playing, but it's like, I don't mind, like, I like, I don't mind. Well, I don't really dress up, you know, but I don't mind, you know, like I've got my superhero outfit from my ace fibro girl, you know, but that's me actually being my normal superhero self. It's not dressing up for some sort of sexual stuff. Do you know what I mean? I don't do sexual stuff. But what I'm trying to say is if I dress up for myself and to look good. I don't want to be dressing up and be putting on some sort of outfit to do something. It's like, oh, well, you'll turn me on more if you wear this nurse's outfit, or you'll turn me on more if you wear, you know, this. I actually got once asked by a guy who's an older asexual guy, so it's really cringy. I met through an asexual dating site. It saw me in the paper actually, because I was in the Daily Mirror years ago, right? But I like younger guys. This guy was older in birth certificate age than me, and he was like, "Oh, I like a girl in a cheerleader outfit," and I was just like cringing because one, he is way too old for me, and two, because I don't like older guys. Some women do, and two, it's like the whole thing makes me feel cringy. It's like, I don't want to dress up to kiss a guy or for a guy to find me attractive. He should have find me attractive as I am. If he doesn't, then you know where the door is, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Because for me, I don't like to be anything other than my true authentic self, right? It's like, I don't wear these frilly knickers and stuff, right? I'm not interested in taking my clothes off anyway. But I wear just normal white pants. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be wearing this. I mean, I'm quite allergic to lacy stuff anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. So I can't really wear a lot of that stuff, right? But it's like, I don't want to be putting something on. I think that if you don't like the person's body as it is naturally, then don't bother being with them. I feel that you should like the way they are, the natural, you know. I'm not really into bodies because I'm not, like, I don't like nudity, right? But if you are in a relationship and you are doing some touching of someone's body, wherever it is their hair on their shoulders or whatever, you should really love the person they are, not have something come in to like, you know, to like change them in some way. Now I know some people might disagree with me because they might think, well, dressing up is just enhancing the person's looks, it's just giving it a different look, making it a different flavor, adding some excitement to the relationship. And I'm thinking, well, if a guy doesn't find me exciting enough with my hyper energy and my personality and my gorgeous hair and face and body as it is, then, you know, you're just not for me, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm all about being natural, you know. Like I said on this channel before, I don't usually wear makeup, as you probably noticed. I'm all about being natural, naturally beautiful. And years ago, if you look back through the time, I mean, I don't like looking at nudity, right? I really don't. But I have seen some paintings that have got nude women on them. I don't like looking at that. But when you're going around museum and stuff like that, it's there in your face sometimes, right? But you'll notice that a lot of, and also when I've been doing research for my Asexual Guide to Sex book, there's some like cartoon, well, kind of drawings, paintings, old-fashioned paintings and stuff on Wikipedia. I don't like looking at that type of thing. It's really gross. But you know, it's better than looking at a real person's photograph, if you know what I mean, because it's like a drawing. But I don't really like doing that either. But anyway, the women's bodies are very voluptuous, you know, they're very curvy, big, you know, like whatever, you know, big chested, and they're kind of like very voluptuous, you know, they're not these skinny little ribby girls, you know. And I think, you know, that's the mark of a kind of a, I'm saying it from my perspective, from a not a thin person, right? Is that, you know, I think it's very nice to have like a fuller figure. It's kind of like, to me, it's like a real woman's body, if you know what I mean. And I think it's a shame that these days a lot of media still portray the stick thin girl as the ideal girl. You know, I don't actually think they're very attractive. But obviously, if someone's naturally born thin, that's different. But, you know, I think there's a lot of emphasis still on women being these thin, skinny, ribby people, like there is with guys having like abs, you know, and really big muscles. I'm not attracted to muscles, right? Those women are. I couldn't care less. I hate muscles. I prefer a guy who's skinny. So I'm not skinny, but I prefer a skinny guy, you know. So I kind of prefer the traditional opposite, you know, like traditionally lots of guys or big muscles, big chest, big abs, and to me it's just like, I don't want, how can I hug a person like that? I'm into skinny guys, but you know, if a guy was like, even if a guy was like larger in body mass, right, I would you know, he had soft and gentle skin, it would still be better for me than being with some guy who's muscly, who's like all ribbed and you can't cuddle him. It's like, what's the point in that? I'd rather have someone who's nice and squidgy to cuddle or thin to cuddle than I would do with a guy who's full of ribs. You know what I mean? It's just no, it doesn't turn me on, it turns me off. It's like, ugh, how can I cuddle someone who's like an armadillo and it's just like all ribby and just like, ugh. And I was on Facebook the other day and there was this guy and he basically lost weight, right? He'd gone from this guy who they showed his photograph and he was supposed to be a little bit plump and, you know, like his face was more plumper but he was soft skinned, right? And he was doing a present, he looked like he was on a microphone, right? And he looked really approachable, really nice, really friendly. And then he changed himself to be thin, as in like, you know, like no largeness at all, if you know what I mean. But I say thin, but he wasn't totally thin because he was ripped muscles. So basically he was thin but had loads of muscles all over his chest, all over his arms, and he was like this, and he looked so aggressive. And I'm thinking, and he was basically saying, look how I've changed, look at my body now, how great I am. And I'm thinking, no, personally, I think you're much more attractive as the other guy. The guy who is more larger and who you know, like who had a rounder face and who, you know, had more weight on him, if you like, who had, you know, like wasn't as thin but muscly, because the guy was muscly who he changed into looked so aggressive and so horrible. And I thought I prefer the other guy who's cuddly, you know, he's much more cuddly and much more softer and gentle. I thought you've changed from a soft, gentle, cuddly guy into this guy who looks really aggressive and I wouldn't even want to be near on a dark night, to be quite frank with you, and really unattractive. So it's similarly, like I saw this woman who's meant to be a diet coach and she was sharing, I unfriended her in there because I couldn't stand it. And she was sharing photographs of these girl clients of hers, girls who I would call got a real woman's body, and the aftermath, you know, of her going through her program, which is basically they had their ribs showing. And to me, that's really unhealthy. I'm like, you know what I mean? I just thought it's disgusting, and I thought I'm not attracted to women, but I think the women look a lot better when they're actually, you know, like not so skinny, when they've actually, you know, cut, you know, like they're more voluptuous. Do you know what I mean? Got a real woman's body, I call it. So, you know, I just personally don't like, you know, like changing my body, or I don't think anyone should change their body shape you know, if they're happy with it and like it the way it is. And I don't think people should, personally, I don't like putting stuff on to be in a situation, you know, like that. Going back to like that Santa outfit, I felt really disgusting because I'm thinking, I don't want to dress up for you to have sex with me and for you to be sexually attracted to me, and to do that type of thing, you know? It's like, and I don't, you know, like if I dress up for myself, you know, I'll go out maybe on a date for myself and I'll dress up because I just want to in the moment. You know what I mean? But I just don't like it when someone's expecting you or asking you to do something, to change something in some way in order for them to get some gratification out of it, you know? That's why I can't really be doing with people with fetishes, in my opinion, because it's like they're obsessed with something for this thing itself, not because they love you and care about you, but because they're obsessed with that specific thing, and because like they're kind of fantasizing over the thing rather than actually taking in your, this is how I feel, but don't forget I'm not into BDSM. People that are into BDSM stuff and fetishes, they would not think this properly, you know? I have a friend who is into BDSM stuff, even though I don't personally like it. So I have to like let you know that just because I don't like it doesn't mean to say it's not suitable for other people. But this is the way I feel like with a fetish, for example, I feel like they're so obsessed over the thing that it's not about me, it's about that specific thing. And it kind of like it kind of just makes me feel like I'm being used, if you know what I mean. Like my body's being used for their gratification in some way, in an obsessive way, and like I don't know, I just don't like it. So, but everyone's different, you know. Everyone experiences attraction different as well, you know. Like for example, with aromantic asexuals, those that don't experience any romantic attraction or sexual attraction, an aromantic asexual person could actually still act as though they're romantic. And I know a lot of aromantics probably wouldn't like me saying that because they might be a bit offended, right? But I don't mean it offensively. I just mean that there's certain things that aromantic asexuals can do that can be romantic in behavior, despite the fact they haven't got any romantic attraction or any romantic intention. So it's like I have some sexual behavior with where I like to kiss and dance, but I have no intention of having sex, and I don't want it, don't need it, and don't experience sexual attraction. But it's a behavior, right? So, for example, an aromantic asexual person might like going out for meals regularly. It might be one of the things they love to do, right? But their reasoning behind it might just be that they want to meet up with a friend and they might want that regular thing in their life, especially if they're autistic, because autistic people tend to love a regular pattern. So it might be that they want to actually, you know, like see you on a specific day each week to have a meal with you. Now they don't mean anything but other than good friendship by it, and and if they're autistic, they like the routine. So they are seeing you on a specific day to have a meal with you because you're their friend. They really like spending time with you, and it's a routine thing for them, but it's not romantic to them. But you, if you're a romantic asexual person who's experienced romantic attraction, you might be romantic attracted to them thinking, God, this is so romantic. Like every week I'm seeing this person and we're just spending this time with each other. And God, I wish I could cuddle them, you know, and I wish I could hold them close to me, and I'm getting really attracted to them. So you've got to understand that asexuals experience attraction differently, and what you might find attractive in a certain way, another asexual person might not, you know? And so like some people, like I said, they could get clothes attraction, aesthetic attraction mixed up. They could think, oh, well, clothes is part of aesthetics because of the way someone looks. But aesthetic attraction usually is how the person looks in their own like body, if you know what I mean. Whereas clothes attraction specifically aimed at liking clothing on a person, and when they wear that clothing, it enhances their beauty in some way, certain type of clothing. Asexual attraction, you know, like some people might be attracted to beards. I can't stand beards. It really annoys me. Like when I was on Facebook dating, nearly every guy would have a beard. I was like thinking, please just shave the damn thing off. You know, like I shave my legs and arms every single day. I go in the shower, right? My arms are really, really soft, right? Baby soft skin. And I love it. And so are my legs like that, right? It's very unusual, I know. My mum's always like, why are you doing that? I'm like, because I don't like hair on my body. I don't mind guys having hair down below because I don't need to see that. But you know what I mean? It's like your face, like I like kissing a guy a lot. And if he's got facial hair, it's like turns me off. I'm like, please just like, you know, like, and some guys going, oh, I shave like once a week. I'm thinking I shave every frigging day and I'm a female, you know, like just shave, you know, because that's where I feel I hate beards. Just to turn me on. Even on Indian guys, I don't like beards on Indian guys. Like if they got big bushy beard, I'm not that aesthetically attracted to them. So yeah, so for me, like part of the aesthetic attraction is a guy who's very clean shaven, short dark hair, clean shaven. That's really beautiful. You know, if he's got especially if he's a boy next door look. I like the guy out of The Life of Pi. He's really good looking. So he's very aesthetically attractive to me, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to like explain that you can experience attractions differently. And if you are deciding to get into a relationship with someone, you need to be discussing your different types of attractions and how that makes you feel, and also how you would give and receive that type of attraction maybe in a relationship. So for example, if you feel romantic attraction, how would that look in a relationship? Like how would you express that romantic attraction? You know, like what would you do to express it? Because don't forget, like some asexuals are really into kissing. Like I'm really into kissing. Probably nearly, I'm the only person that's into kissing as much as I am, probably in the world. But there's got to be some other asexual guy who likes kissing as much as me, or nearly as much as me, right? But I love kissing. Right, it's a really big thing for me. But you know, that's really highly romantic. But a lot of asexual guys who are heteromantic, for example, they only like little kisses and cuddling is their thing, right? So when you're talking about attraction, and if you're talking about having a relationship with someone, you need to be discussing how your attraction is for you, and you know, and how it impacts you. Like how does it feel to you, basically? So you need to be trying to get the person to describe what a romantic attraction means to them, or aesthetic or sensual, you know, so there's no misunderstanding. Because some people who are sensually attracted will like literally full body massages with the person. They'll like maybe to receive it and give it. They want touching all over the body. They might get some massage oils. They might want to go in the bath with you and touch all over in the bath. They might want to just like, you know, they might just want regular touching all over the body. And like someone like me who likes the upper body, I'd like to touch the guy's upper body, but I'm not interested in it from below the waist, you know? So unless I'm sat on his lap or in between his legs, and obviously I've got that physical contact. But in general, with my hands, it's like an upper body. So if you are thinking about getting into a relationship with someone, then it's good that you discuss how your attraction affects you, and how it feels to you, and what that would look like in a relationship. How would that manifest? Like what does the attraction look like? So for me, if I'm going for example, an Indian guy, I experience intelligence attraction with a guy who can code, then I'm going to be saying to the guy, right, I experience this intelligence attraction, and I love it when a guy can code because it makes me want to kiss him more. So there's nothing unexpected. They're not gonna one day go, what the hell are you doing? Why are you kissing me? Or why are you touching me? Or you know what I mean? It's not something that's going to be unexpected. So this is something that again people don't really talk about so much with relationships. But it's a very important thing that you understand your type of attractions you have, how they feel to you, and how you would show that type of attraction in a relationship. So there's no misunderstandings. And it particularly applies if you're deciding to date a sexual person rather than another asexual. Because I've said this on a video before, if, for example, you have sensual attraction, a lot of sexuals would take that as sexual attraction. So if you start touching a sexual person's body, it would get them turned on and they would want sex. They would think that you are going towards sex usually. But if you hate sex repulse, but you don't mind touching the body, and you need to explain to the sexual person, hey, I just love massage, I love touching, right, but I don't want sex, you know. And if the sexual person loves having massages, then they need to understand that that's where it's going to end. It's not going to lead to sex, which it would for most sexuals. So it's very important that you understand yourself as much as possible, your types of attractions you experience, and also you're able to express how that would be in a relationship with you, how that would work with them, you know, because we all experience attractions at different levels. Some are more intense than others, some are more prominent than others, and we all have different behaviors depending on how we experience that attraction and what that attraction means to us and how we want to present that to the person we're with. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you have got any questions before I go tonight, please do pop them in chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you for now. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't already got a copy of my Asexual Perspectives book, it is worth getting, because we do talk about in this book like difference between sexual attraction, sexual desire, arousal, all that type of thing. So it does go into details about that. And that's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Waterstones. Asexual Perspectives, just type it in, you'll see it come up. So yeah, so I hope you found this video, like I said, useful, helpful, insightful. Thank you for the thumbs up. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button here and now. Don't forget to hit that bell icon. And thank you so much, Doc, for the question. If you've got any more questions, please keep it coming. I'll put that on my wish list for Asexual Perspectives. Yeah, I think you'd get some value out of it. I think you find it really interesting and insightful. So it's good to get it for Christmas. Ask it for a Christmas gift. Or save your pennies up. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Doc. And thank you for everyone else that's joined tonight. Thank you for all the thumbs up. I'm sending you lots of love and big hugs as always. And don't forget to always embrace your inner ace, embrace your quirky, and don't forget to have the bell icon on so you get notified of every time I go live like now. I'll post a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and I love you to bits. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate you. I'll see you soon on the next video live stream. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. Bye, Doc. Oh, bye, Sparky as well, who took part. Lots of love. Thanks for taking part. Bye. Have a good day.